What an interesting table I have here. Purchased this table about 10 years ago, and it's still here. It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I wonder, like I say every time I come live, who's going to come in today? I really do wonder who's going to be coming in. I wonder if my moderators are going to come in. That would be interesting. Which moderators are going to come in? Jerry, DeCula, airline pilot? Top messages, all messages. How about all messages? Everyone can come in. Why not? How are you doing? There's 2 people watching me. I just came on. I've been doing this on YouTube Live for, let's see, 7.5 months, I think. I think since, let's see, November, December, January, February, March, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Okay, 7.5 months. Yeah, about 7.5 months, somewhere around. This YouTube channel right here has been in operation for maybe 1.5 years, maybe longer. I don't know. I never really used it, except to chat with people sometimes on YouTube. I stopped live streaming either October the 22nd or October the 23rd on TikTok. The competitor got tired of that. I may go back to YouTube. I mean, TikTok rather. I misspoke. I may go back. We'll see. It has new management, new owners, and things like that. Some of the people are new owners, not all. And I noticed that YouTube's competing. What is this here? Okay. YouTube's competitor, TikTok, has made some changes. They're trying to promote a lot of things over there. It threw me off for a little bit. I chat to people over there. This is my live streaming channel. Well, let's see. Let's see how many people we have here. We have 20 people in here. And so far, nobody has made a comment. I wonder why. You can go ahead and say something if you'd like. Mr. Gynecologist. Yo. Sup? Interesting. Occupation. Thras Holdman. Hello. Greetings from Archivik, Germany. Howdy, howdy, Mr. Nobody. 1031. How are you doing? Hey, Kurt Russell. Thank you very much for that. I guess it's a compliment. But guess what? I'm not Kurt Russell. No, I'm not. I'm somebody else. I'm Randall. I don't know if Randy I want to go by, or that's a nickname, Randall. I guess Randall was it's not a name you hear very often. Maybe in the South. Or the South, or maybe out in the Midwest or something like that. In the Northeast, where I lived in Philadelphia and New Jersey and that area, you did not hear the name Randall very often, other than Randall Cunningham, who was the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles for many years. There were not a lot of people with my last name either. A few people know my last name, but I have an English surname or last name. And that's a name that you that you hear in the South and you hear that's in Texas and Oklahoma and Kansas and stuff like that, and Missouri. Did you invest in SpaceX today? Nickname unauthorized. I know you are not my Uncle Kurt Russell, just a look-alike. Well, are you? Well, I don't believe I'm a doppelganger, and I don't believe that there's any relation between Mr. Russell, the actor, and myself. My ethnicity, well, my nationality is American. My family's been here. Well, my mother's side of the family's been here since 1713 when we were still colonies. I think my father's side of the family came here later, like 1850s or something. No, before that, because my father had family that were in the Alamo, in the Battle of the Alamo. Yeah. But that's a different wing of the family. That's the Mitchinsons. James Mitchinson was took care of the horse stables in a mission called the Alamo, and he did not make it. He was surrounded by Santa Anna and his posse. Well, really, the Mexican army. My ancestral uncle did not make it, but his name is engraved on the inside of the Alamo. You just sound a lot like him and have the looks, and that's a good thing. I'm very close to my Uncle Kurt. Kurt Russell. He was in a couple of those Escape from Pick a City. And I think he was a child actor. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is he married to Goldie Hawn, the actress? Goldie Hawn, the actress from Maryland, I believe. She's about my mother's age. Pretty lady. I lived in Los Angeles for many years. 1987, out there near Hollywood. I actually lived in Hollywood. My name is Hollywoodland22 is my channel name. I lived in the Hollywood Hills in a guest house behind a mansion in 1987 when I was a very young guy. 88. I'm sorry. That didn't last too long, living in Upper Beechwood Canyon. That's hard on your transmission. And if your car breaks down, it's hard on your feet to walk up there to go home. It's you almost need a taxi cab. It's just too much. I moved into Central Hollywood in 1990 and I was there in the early 90s, and then I eventually moved up into the San Fernando Valley, which is north of the Hollywood Sun on the other side of the Santa Monica Mountains. If you've ever heard of North Hollywood or Tarzana or Chatsworth or any of those places, I lived up there for quite some time. I did not work in the entertainment industry. I'm a salesman. Strings 04 Life. Welcome in. Big Trouble in Little China. I don't know all the films. Have I ever been to the Balkans? No, but I'll tell you one thing that a lot of people don't know is that in the last 20 years, that the city of Los Angeles, or really the county, in many ways is similar to the Balkan states in Southeast Europe. There's a lot of Croatians and Macedonians and people from Armenia, and it's just a lot of different ethnic groups anywhere. and not just that area, but the Philippines and South Korea and Mexico and Guatemala and El Salvador and Nicaragua and Panama and Colombians and Irishmen from New Jersey that have moved out there to try to be famous and stuff like that, and all kinds of people that live out there. Persians, a large Persian community out there, Iranian Christians and Jews out there, and then there's even an Islamic community that just moved in there in the last 10 years, and there's just a lot of different people from a lot of different ethnic backgrounds that live in Los Angeles, and the city is spread out, and they're not as close knit as like in New York. I don't know if you've ever been out there. It's not like what you might have seen in the movies. I mean, if you got to go down to Orange County to see the crazy Irishmen surfing and stuff like that, like your typical Hollywood surfer boy kind of guys. They're more down in they're not even in the South Bay anymore. They're down in Orange County in San Diego now. LA is a factory county. The county is the largest manufacturing county in the United States. It also has two ports, San Pedro, which is the port of Los Angeles. It also has the port of Long Beach. So it's a double port, and it's the busiest port in the United States. They also process food there. A lot of the food is grown in the Central Valley up north of LA, and they make food and frozen and the ham. They got, what's that other place they have? Not Tyson. They have some place in Vernon near South Central makes sausage down there, and they all the way out east of LA. They have a place called City of Industry that manufactures all kinds of processed food and stuff like that. And then they have all kinds of factories that make things out there: furniture, soap, toys, men's and women's clothing, shoes. The garment manufacturing business is very big out there. Refineries, airplane parts. It's a large manufacturing place. They manufacture television shows out there in the San Fernando Valley and in Glendale, and to a certain degree in Culver City and Hollywood. Hollywood, not as much anymore, but up in the San Fernando Valley, a lot of television programs are manufactured up there. They're thought up, they're written, they're manufactured. I don't know who's financing them, but they have a lot of unions there. It's a big union town. There's a lot. Teamsters union is big in Los Angeles. They also have a lot of government unions that a lot of people don't like. They don't want a lot of unions in the government, but that's, some people do. Los Angeles also has about somewhere between 800 and 900,000 undocumented aliens living in the county. That county has 10 million people, and that means there's almost 10% of the people that live there are undocumented. That means they're actually not legally in the country. Lord only knows where they come from, probably mostly from Mexico and Central America, but other places as well. Los Angeles currently has a card-carrying communist mayor. It wasn't always like that. We had a really good mayor we had some good mayors back in the day. She doesn't want a lot of police to be hired there, and a lot of people are very upset right now. They want to be protected. They don't want people breaking into their condominium complex and attempting to kick their door down and stuff like that. There's all kinds of stuff. You can watch the news. You can watch all of it. I used to live there. It was a much different place in 1988, 87. I was out there in 87, actually. So the tail end of 87. Los Angeles and Los Angeles County and was a much different place in the late 80s and through the 90s and the 2000s. It started to change. You started to notice a big change in Los Angeles around 2011. We've always had hobos, what they call homeless people. They're houseless people. What we've got going on now out there, I don't live there now. I live in North Carolina. I live in a suburb of Charlotte, North Carolina. But what we had out there, when you have 75,000 to 100,000 people that do not have a place to live, and well, the women and children are in the shelters, right? But you got people just living in cars and all kinds of stuff. These are elderly people and people with handicapped people and people with disabilities and things like that. There's no reason for them to be outside at all. It's atrocious what the local city government and county government is. County of Los Angeles, the county board of supervisors have allowed for somewhere between, at one point it really was closer to 100,000. They don't tell you the truth. Dr. Drew said it was closer to 100,000 about 5 years ago. But it's not a bunch of people just using rugs and alcohol. I can assure you of that. I lived out there. There's a lot of people that do not even smoke cigarettes or drink alcohol. They do not smoke weed. They do not use any rugs, and they live in RV or they live in a car. Sometimes they're abandoned cars or they live on the street rough, and it's really horrible. And some attention needs to be. It needs to be rectified. As far as I'm concerned, even if the federal government needs to go out there and get these people the help that they need, whether it be in the medical treatment, it doesn't have to be mental health medical treatment. A lot of these people do not have any mental illnesses whatsoever. They just don't have a place to live. There's many reasons for that. A lot of these people got screwed over by their boyfriends, girlfriends, spouses, other women that were being hurt by their husbands and stuff. A lot of these people lost their apartment because the rents went up really fast. The rents went up really fast around 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. They just went through the roof. A lot of affordable units, like, for example, the city of Los Angeles it has approximately 30,000 less what they call affordable housing units, like older apartments, motels that rent out by the month or the week for maybe people that live on the fringes of society or something. Maybe people that do drink and don't work and don't want to do rugs or something. They need a place to live too. They don't need to be out on the street, even if they're not doing the right thing. But there's people that don't do any of that stuff that are. I've seen some things out there that would blow your mind. Absolutely blow your mind. And with it comes a lot of people that prey on the homeless out there. A lot of people prey on the homeless. It's horrible. And all you can do is pray for them, but you get to the point where you have to have the federal government. The United States federal government, in my opinion, needs to go out to California, and they need to start doing the job that the city of LA and the county of Los Angeles, and also these cities up in the San Francisco area and Sacramento area will not do, because they're not doing their job. They're not getting these people inside, at least into a shelter, like a women's shelter, a men's shelter, getting people, having a triage system where they figure out where people need to go. Does this person need to go to the hospital? Does this person have a mental illness or a physical handicap where he needs immediate medical attention, or he needs to be in some type of to get some mental health treatment? Does this person need some drug treatment? Does this person simply just need to live in a shelter until they can figure out how to, and some direction to get a job, if it's a young man or something like that? Getting women and children some type of affordable housing, perhaps Section 8 or something, Section 8 housing or something similar to that from the Department of Social Services, or HUD or something needs to be doing their job and getting women and children inside instead of living in a car. That's not acceptable to me in the United States of America. It's just not acceptable. I personally get very offended when the homeless are demonized on television. I don't like it at all. Now, there are some homeless people, a smaller percentage, that prey on other homeless people. That's going on. And maybe some criminals and stuff like that. They need to be dealt with as well. There are many people that are on parole that did not go back. They got out of prison in California. They let a lot of people out of prison because they reclassified a lot of crimes as not like, so that they can let a lot of people out to empty the prisons out. The state of California said it had a prison overpopulation problem, so they reclassified a bunch of crimes and they let a lot of people out. They go see their probation officer one time, two times, three times, then they never go back, and then they live incognito off the grid in an abandoned car or a tent. So there's a lot of people that need to be picked up and taken back to be incarcerated because they did not go see their probation officer or their parole officer, I might say. So as you can see, there's many reasons and many different types of people that are living on the street where I live. Me personally, me and my significant other, a lady friend I have, we decided for quite some time, we decided that it wasn't the same place anymore and it was time for me to leave. And I was supposed to be a temporary leave. I was supposed to come to North Carolina, where I reside right now. And this was going to be something for maybe a couple of years. Which it has. It's going on 3 years now. And then go back. But now they have corrupt elections out there. It doesn't, as you've seen on television, a lot of people you've seen that there's no way that Spencer Pratt could have just all of a sudden not been in the finals to run for mayor by just 3%. It's ridiculous. I mean, the Los Angeles FBI field office had already been looking into this to find out about corruption. Is there going to be corruption? Let's look for the corruption when it comes. I'm sure something's going to come out in the news about people not counting votes. It's just a corrupt system out there. The way the voting is out there. And you don't have moderate Democrats running the place. Most people that live in Los Angeles are pretty traditional. I mean, it's got to understand that Los Angeles is somewhere between 50 to 55% Latino. And Latino people tend to be more traditional, kind of old-fashioned, family-oriented and stuff like that. And then some of us gringos are kind of crazy and running around all doing weird stuff, you know. But a lot of them don't vote. So sometimes you have people voted in as mayor of the city of Los Angeles, like Eric Garcetti before Karen Bass. I believe the first or second time he had 2 terms. One of those terms, he became the mayor with only 17% of eligible voters voting him in. That's how. Now I believe that he was incompetent, but he wasn't a bad guy. Put it this way: this other one, this Karen Bass, I'm not a fan of hers. And I want to get to the bottom of what happened in the Pacific Palisades and why that wasn't prevented. There should have never been a fire that big. That's cliffside, beachfront, that's a property on the western end of the Santa Monica Mountains that overlooks the Pacific Ocean. And not everybody there is a wealthy person. A lot of those people are middle income people that live up in there, that had those houses, that inherited those houses from their grandparents or their parents that bought them years ago. Maybe back in the 40s or something like that, or before that. They pay a lot of taxes on that. These people have to go to work every day and everything. Don't believe everything that you hear in the newspapers. So where do I fit into all this? My lady friend and I had just decided that we were going to ramble on, and I got a chance to live in North Carolina and spend the last 2 years and 3 months with my father. My father passed away and this past October 13th. And I'm still grieving over him, but I got a chance to talk to him as a grown-ass man 2 years and 3 months. And I really appreciate the time I had to connect with my father. I really do. It was a good thing. It's a wonderful, beautiful thing. But now that I've been here, I was expecting to be able to move back to Southern California, and it's even less expensive to live there now. Home prices have come down somewhat. Rent apartments, everything just came down. But, I've decided that's not where I'm going to go. If you're over the age of 45 and you left California, forget about it. You'll thank me in the morning. It's just going to ebb and flow. There's going to be all kinds of corruption in the government out there. It's going to be a big mess. It's going to take decades to get that state at least fair with their elections again. It might take 10 to 15, maybe 20 years to get to the point where there's some relatively fair elections out there. And I don't want to live around that. I don't want to live where there's a lot of crime now and stuff. So we came out here to a little town out in between Charlotte and Raleigh. I spent a lot of time in Charlotte, North Carolina. And one of the things I found out in Charlotte, North Carolina is, check this out, it's a little hot here. By the way, in Charlotte, North Carolina, it is over 92 degrees today. And it's going to be in the 90s for the next week or so. It is definitely summertime here. We're going to do this and change this down to a 74. Check that out. We're going to get it ice cold in here. And we're going to check on this hot water. No, it's not hot anymore. See that? I'm going to time 1, 2, 3, 4. So you keep yours at 70. Up. None of that. I got to tell you guys, this is what happens. You get blocked. You get blocked forever if you text anything that is racially bigoted, or if you text anything that is anti-Semitic, or if you say anything nasty about women and children. You get blocked immediately. There's no second chances, and you will never be on my channel again. New York is a big, huge mess as well. I know. Yeah, it didn't used to be that way. I used to live in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I'm from Philadelphia, and then I moved to South Jersey. Except I lived in Lubbock. I lived in the Panhandle of Texas for 4 years as a child. So a lot of the South Plains is in me. You know that the Central Plains of the United States. A lot of that culture is in me. In northwestern Texas, which is similar to Oklahoma and Kansas. When you're like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old, those are years when you're impressionable, Oh, well, check this out. I think my tea is ready. It's been a very interesting week. I had a surgery on Monday, and I'm sort of coming off of it. I'm still recovering. I went walking today. I walked about 1.5 miles today. I usually walk about 3 miles a day, but it's just a little bit too much. My insides are feeling a little bit funny. I'm going to live. I'm in good health. Yeah, but so we split, and now I've been here in North Carolina, spent a lot of time in Charlotte, only to discover that once you leave the suburbs, And the suburbs are getting like this too. Just in case, I was playing with my hair. The suburbs of Charlotte, North Carolina are starting to get a little bit sketchy. There's some problems. There's some property theft problems around here. And when you go into Charlotte, North Carolina, in my, not my opinion, this is a fact, in the last 5 years, people told me it's been changing. It's dangerous now. It doesn't look dangerous. Charlotte does not look dangerous at all. It's a pig with lipstick on it. And there is going to be some relocating by me. We are going to relocate. Yes, I am going to relocate. I'm not sure when I'm going to relocate. Is it going to be before 2027? Is it going to be in the middle of 2027? When is it going to be? I'm not going to talk about when I'm going to leave, but I'm definitely leaving the Charlotte metropolitan area, and I have narrowed it down to 2 places. Let's look in my chat and see what people have to say. Charlotte has always had danger. Well, Charlotte has a violent crime rate that's almost the same as Los Angeles. And Los Angeles metropolitan area has 12.5 million people in it. And this area only has about 3 million people in it, or less. It has about 2,900,000. So for a smaller city, Charlotte really packs a punch. I heard Raleigh is safer. This place is turning into the Northeast. I don't mind people from New York and New Jersey. I mean, I'm from that area. Well, Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York. I'm from that area, right? I understand the culture. I am part of that. With a little bit of LA in me. But I don't, this is just not my cup of tea. Charlotte, North Carolina is not my cup of tea. The South is not my cup of tea. I'm just not, I don't consider Florida the South when you get to Orlando. The northern part of Florida has Southern culture, but I'm just not, it's nothing wrong with it. It's just different. And I'm over 45 years old, and I'm not going to change. I've traveled the country. I mean, I get along with people up in the Northeast, but I really like the Midwest. I like Ohio and Indiana and Illinois and Missouri and Kansas, and I'm sure I would like Nebraska if I ever visited there, or Iowa. I've been to Minnesota. I kind of like it there. It's not everything you're seeing on television. There's a lot more to Minnesota than what you see on television. I've been to Wisconsin. I've been to Madison, Wisconsin. I've been to Fargo, North Dakota. I've been to Bismarck, North Dakota. I've been to Billings, Montana. I've been out in the center of the country, what they call flyover country. These snotty people from San Francisco and New York, they call it flyover country, the middle America. I like the Midwest. I like Midwestern people. I love them. I think they're fucking great. They're better people than I am. I mean, what am I? I'm some sarcastic guy that grew up in Philadelphia, okay? Does anyone know where Cherry Hill, New Jersey is? I lived in Cherry Hill, New Jersey from, in my last 2 years of high school and through university, going to college. Couple, and then I split. I decided I was going to go out to California. Oh, I need something in this tea right now. And you know what it is that I need? I need to open this dishwasher because I'm a loser. I forgot to empty the dishwasher. I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to put some fake sugar, which I know is bad for me. I'm starting to figure out this Splenda and Equal. Probably my liver does not know what it is, right? You think my liver knows what Splenda and Equal are? I don't think so. What do you think? You think my liver knows what Splenda and Equal are in my tea? I don't have diabetes. I do not have high blood pressure. I did not smoke for 5 years. I haven't had any alcohol or weed for 19 years. It will be 19 years on August the 8th of this year. I do not need an attaboy from anyone. But I can sleep a lot better. I had somebody remind me. I had another live streamer. I think it was yesterday. Remind me, be careful, in their own words. Very, very intelligent individual reminded me that everyone's watching. I think that they were trying to convey that for me to assume that anybody could be watching at any time and to not assume that certain people are not watching. I have no idea who's watching me. Sometimes people reveal themselves. They say, "Hi, I'm such and such. You watch my channel, or you watch, or we know some of the same people, or something like that." But coconut sugars. Thank you, Barbara Boonin. Thank you for the compliment. Try honey. I will try honey. Old school grandma. Thank you for supporting my channel. Jenny Annapolis. Use stevia. You can grow it. Can I? I'm going to look into that. I'm looking at 2 different states that I'm interested in going to. I mean, I've lived different places. I lived in Washington State for 3 years. I lived in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You know, growing up, I lived in New Jersey. I lived in Maryland. Well, I used to visit Maryland all the time when I was a child. My grandparents are from the Washington, D.C. area and Northern Virginia and stuff like that. I visited Florida. But here's what I'm thinking of. And I really did a lot of research. And I like these places for different reasons. I like Florida for a reason. I like Central Florida, like where Disney World is. Either in the city. I'm an urban person. I could live in the city or the suburbs. It makes no difference. Orlando, or around Orlando, somewhere around there. And you know what? The beach is only 45 minutes to 55 minutes away. Cocoa Beach and Daytona Beach, which is kind of cool. The reasons I might want to move to Florida is because as I get older, there will be excellent medical care there. There's a lot of employment there in tourism and hotels and retail and restaurant. I wouldn't work in restaurant business anymore, but hotels and tourism and related industries, and the entertainment business is there. And there's good jobs in that too. Not necessarily in front of the camera, but it could be. But there's a lot of opportunities there in the fields of work that I have training in. Another place that I'm thinking about going to, take a guess where it is. It's not California, and it's not up in the Northeast. Everyone is welcome in Wisconsin. I liked Madison, Wisconsin. I did. At SW107 Love. I moved from Florida to the Midwest, and I'm having a beautiful time. I like 4 seasons. I can deal with warm weather with only like one month out of the year, 2 months out of the year in Orlando where it feels like spring, and then the rest of the year is like summer. I could live in that too and drive around in an air-conditioned automobile. It makes no difference to me. I've lived in the desert before on a horse with no name. I stayed out of the rain. My mother moved around, and then my family had financial means, and we traveled as a child, and then I'm old enough that I've been around. I've even been to Mexico many times. I've been to Mexico probably 25 times. Hawaii? Wow. I don't know if I would go that far away. Yeah, Kurt Russell, I know. Wyoming, I got a mother that lives down in the panhandle of Florida. She's very energetic at 81 years old, has a lot of energy. We have longevity in my family. We have people that live into their 90s. She's going to be around. I want to be able to go back and see her if I need to. My brother lives in Florida. That's another good reason. I have a younger brother that I'm close to. He's like me, but he has like light brown hair. He's bigger than me. He's like a big guy. He's like I'm 6'1". He's a bigger guy. He's like 5'11", but he has a chest that sticks out like this. He's like really muscular and knows all kinds of Krav Maga. That's kind of like mixed. It's not like mixed martial arts. It's Israeli jiu-jitsu. I'd be closer to him and my sister-in-law and niece. They live about an hour and a half southwest of Orlando. But has anybody else guessed where I'm thinking about relocating to besides Florida? Anyone? Anybody? It's not so far north that it's too cold. Like, for example, if you go anywhere that is north of Nebraska, it is too cold for me, personally. Anywhere north of Iowa, anywhere north, like going up there. They're a nice place. I'd visit them in the springtime, but not in the, I'm talking about someplace that's not too far north near Canada, but not in the south. And I would not live in Arkansas or Oklahoma. That's the south. Kind of in Oklahoma. It depends on where you are. Oklahoma's got a lot of issues. Yeah, I heard people are like Tennessee right now. Tennessee is like two different states. Like one side's different from the other. Jewish martial arts. That's what it is. Krav Maga. Were you on a TV show? You look so familiar. No, I've never been on. I've been on television. I've been interviewed by a reporter once when I was a child and once as an adult. For something that happened that was in the news, but I've never worked in the television business, the film business, or anything. I know people that work in that business. I know things about that business that the average person probably does not know, but I never worked in that business. Africa, Texas, Appalachia, Kentucky. Okay. Okay, let's drink some tea and talk about it. Tea time. Okay, would you guys like to know where I'm thinking about moving besides, relocating to besides, and why besides Florida? Would you like to know? You have to tell me. If you don't care, then I won't tell you. I've been to Delaware. Delaware, the northern Delaware is in the Philadelphia metropolitan area. I know Delaware fairly well. Those are little states. There was a time when I thought about living in the St. Louis metropolitan area, but on the Illinois side, like in Edwardsville or Belleville or something like that. I'd been close to, but living in Illinois, but going over the bridge over into St. Louis, or living in the St. Louis suburbs. Because that's a large metropolitan area, good hospital systems. There's a lot of there's a lot of employment opportunity there. But I'm actually shifting towards Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City, Missouri is a place I've been doing a lot of research on for employment, size, population, medical care, recreational things I can get into. Yeah, but I've been through Missouri a lot of times. I've been through across country. Um, I've been through on a Greyhound bus. I've been through on an automobile, both back and forth through Missouri, and spent some time in St. Louis and spent some time in Columbia, Missouri, and I've spent some time in Branson, Missouri, down there near the Ozarks, and I really like that down there. And I have been through Kansas City, Missouri, and I have spent some time in Kansas City, Kansas, and a place called Overland Park and a place called Oath. I've been through there and spent some time there multiple times. And I'm thinking about that's another option I have, like for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Someplace that's affordable, like in the middle of the country. Then I would have to have a basement, of course. I would have to have a basement to go to just in case there's a tornado, because I lived in the panhandle of Texas and I know all about tornadoes. I know about being about a half mile away from a tornado inside of a closet in the middle of a 2-bedroom apartment with my brother and my mother, and hearing what sounded like a freight train come by. And it is truly terrifying. But I would deal with the tornado thing. I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of earthquakes. I was in the Northridge earthquake. I made a lot of money helping clean that up. I fear God. What do you guys say about the Ozarks? Ozarks and the Osmonds. Yeah, the Osmonds are from around there, aren't they? Ozarks, no, was that Tony, Orlando, and Dawn that had their television show that I saw when I was a little toddler? My mother used to watch that show. I like Bruno Mars. I think he's a really good entertainer. He's a good musician. Him and the guy that sings the Happy song. I have sailed. Kansas is nice. You know what? I've been to Kansas City, Kansas, and it's smaller, but and I've been to Overland Park. Those are beautiful areas. They're affordable comparatively to New York City and California and New Jersey, all that area, like Washington, D.C., up to I-95, all the way to Boston is a very expensive. Well, I would expand that. I would say that it is expensive between Northern Virginia, Arlington, Virginia, that whole Northern Virginia area, up to I-95 and every city, all the way up to Massachusetts and up to New Hampshire, which would include, what would it include? It would include Fairfax, Manassas, Arlington, Washington, D.C., Maryland, almost the entire state of Maryland, northern Delaware, Philadelphia. Philadelphia and South Jersey is a little bit more affordable. Then you get up into northern New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, coastal Maine, and Vermont and New Hampshire are all pricey. All of them. They're very pricey. But when you go out to Missouri, all of a sudden, you could buy a nice big house out there. Yes, you can. Very affordable out there. You stretch your money out there. As you're getting older, you can stretch your money out. And if you want to go to the beach, you just jump on an airplane and fly down to Florida. Because people that know that Texas beaches suck. They have Portuguese man-o-war jellyfish all over the place out there. If they sting you, you can just die and drown. It's not cool. I mean, the beaches in Galveston are nice. It's nice to be on the beach, but I wouldn't be going in the water right now. Where am I? Let's see who's in here. For some reason, I feel like it's still hot in here. I don't know why, but I'm going to change this on to, check that out. I'm putting it on 72. I'm being a big baby now. I'm putting it on 72. Here we go. What are you laughing at, Miss Newman? You silly rabbit. Mexico played yesterday. Yes, guess what? I heard that the president of Mexico was not there. Claudia is afraid of getting booed by her own people because they know she's corrupt. And Elian Sacca, you know what? Pamper myself. Yes, Ray Riddle. That's right, Ray Riddle. 9462. That's the violin again. That's Miss Julie Newman in the other room playing the violin. Yeah, they all get booed. Bentonville, Arkansas, right on the border with Missouri, has beautiful homes and land. I heard that it does. Isn't that where the Walmart headquarters is? Not too far from Fayetteville. I had a family reunion. My father's side of the family, part of them, my father's mother's last name was Collins. And the Collins family reunion was always in the middle of the country somewhere because they live around eastern Oklahoma or Texas or parts of Arkansas or Dodge City, Kansas or something. And they're all, or Colorado, and they're all meeting in that part of the country. So I went to Mountain View, Arkansas. Mountain View, Arkansas has all these different like little hotel, like cottage looking things where you can have your family reunions there. And it's absolutely beautiful in the Ozarks. It's like a mini Appalachian Mountains. And they even have people that are kind of like hillbillies there. Isn't that where Jed Clampett and Jethro and Ellie Mae and all those people in that television show, the Beverly Hillbillies, aren't they from the Ozarks? Not Appalachia. They're from the Ozarks. Yeah, they are. And I heard that there's Confederate gold that's buried somewhere. There's a bunch of hillbillies like running around and making sure that no one gets anywhere near it. Okay, I heard things. Barbara Budden, 7811. I lived as a child, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, and 9th grade in the panhandle of Texas and Lubbock. That's like a different state up there. That's different from the other part of West Texas. And it's different from South Texas. It's different from the hill country. It's different from Houston. It's different from Dallas-Fort Worth. It's similar to Wichita Falls and Abilene. But it's more, the panhandle's different. Amarillo and Lubbock are different. They're more like eastern New Mexico and Oklahoma and western Kansas, which is kind of like an arid area or semi-arid. I remember Texas. It depends on where you are in Texas. Where are you, Barbara Budin, 7811? Or is it the unbelievable amount of heat or the wild, or do you live in the northern part of Texas where the weather's really wild and you don't like it? Texas is not all Republican. There's a lot of Democrats that live there. It depends on where you are. Austin is artsy, yeah. Austin grew. Cecil Osman, Hollywoodland22. You look good today. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. So what is it about Texas that makes it not your cup of tea? Because I know the state really well. I mean, I lived there as a child, but I traveled through it. And my father has a lot of relatives there. My father's family goes back to Texas in the San Antonio, Austin area for all the way back to the 1800s. You know, so there's a lot of people with my last name and my grandmother's last name, Hortons and Mitchisons, that go back there before Texas was a state. So I know it. Trying to figure out storms. Northern Texas, anywhere that is north of Austin, whether you're going east, anywhere from about Austin north is susceptible to tornadoes, which includes northeastern Texas, the panhandle of Texas, and also San Angelo, Wichita Falls, Fort Worth area, Denton, um, Abilene, all that stuff on the way out to Lubbock and Amarillo. Even eastern New Mexico can get tornadoes. All of Oklahoma. Wichita Falls gets a lot of places around Wichita Falls and Abilene get tornadoes. When you get up into Oklahoma, it gets worse. It's pretty bad in some parts of Kansas, especially southern Kansas. It gets better when you get to like when you start going up towards the Kansas-Nebraska border. You don't get as many, but they're still there. The tornadoes don't start to get less and less until you start going into like the Nebraska. I'd say the Nebraska South Dakota border, or maybe if you go like the northern part of Iowa and stuff like that, and up, it's less and less. It's more if you go. I'd say they can happen in Omaha and Lincoln, but definitely. But when you go south of there, it increases the probability of these big giant tornadoes that are F3s and F4s and F5s and stuff even can be there. It's really important that if you live in that part of the country, that's Tornado Alley. That's the real deal. And you have to have a basement to go to. Some kind of a basement. You get underneath a mattress or something like that. For real. I was stuck in the beautiful mountains for a couple of years and it felt so dry and itchy. Oh, Georgetown. I know where that is. Do you know where Kerrville is? I had a great uncle that lived out in Kerrville. I had relatives that lived out in Tyler, all around the San Antonio area. That's my father's last name. His family's out there. I would like to visit Hawaii. Big black bugs. Really? What kind of bugs? Like cockroaches or something? It's like living, okay, Barbara Budin gave me an answer. Storms. It's like living in the middle of a deserted desert. It is just impossible in every way, shape, and form, at least for my taste. I was raised in beautiful Hawaii right on the beach. Do you live in West Texas or Central Texas? Central Texas is still, it's like semi-arid. When you get out to West Texas, it's either desert or it's high desert up in the Panhandle. I used to ride dirt bikes out there when I was a kid. I actually like wide open spaces, like wide open, like living out in Dodge City or Abilene or someplace like where it's like wide open with no trees. Trees get in the way, just wide open places. I love places like that. But I do like forests too. I just don't like ticks. I don't like ticks. Ticks suck. Central Texas. Okay. A lot of people, it gets hot out there. See, Central Texas gets humidity and high temperatures. So you're right on the border between humid and dry. So you get both. Barbara Budin, 7811. I love people with character, and I think I'm looking at somebody here with character. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. I try to have good character. Sometimes I come out of character. As a matter of fact, you really don't know if I'm playing a character right now, but I'm not. I'm just trying to be really professional. I'm talking in my business tone right now. I'm doing this live stream, so not late. Sometimes late at night. There are days when I come on here, especially if I'm talking to somebody that knows me. There are a small handful of people that know me in here. I'm real. I'm definitely real. This is the way I am in public and stuff like this. Sometimes, not all the time. But I didn't get much sleep last night. I was probably should have taken one of those, what they call an Ambien, one of those sleeping pills. You're not supposed to take more than 2 or 3. You're not supposed to take them every day. Might have helped me get to sleep better. Georgetown, I know. Georgetown's a really nice place. Maui's, I heard, is nice. You know what? Thank you, Ray Riddle. I would love for everybody to hit the subscribe button. I do not monetize this channel. This channel is not monetized. I don't need the money. I know that's kind of odd for someone to say that. This is totally non-monetized. If I get to maybe 10,000, somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel, then I will monetize it. We'll see what we can do with this channel. You never know. It might become a big channel. It may. What do you think? I think it will become a big channel one day. We'll see how long it's going to take. I'm just playing around. I'm here, Hollywoodland22, which is my channel name. I am here Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the same as New York City time, as opposed to Oklahoma City time, which is Central Time, or Albuquerque, which is Mountain Time, or Los Angeles, which is Pacific Time. I believe Las Vegas, even though it's on the Pacific, is also Pacific Time. Surprise Valley, California, Hot Springs, far northeast California. Is that up near Susanville? I haven't been that far north in California. I always wanted to go up there. I've been to Redding, but I haven't been to Susanville. High mountain desert country, yeah. Since I came across your channel, I think YouTube is getting better. You know what? A lot of people from TikTok that had big channel. Well, if you had a big channel up before like 2024 or 23, you could still do the TikTok thing, and probably that you could do that for a living. But a lot of people that had medium-sized channels and smaller channels, they just kind of left TikTok. TikTok's really changed a lot. YouTube, a lot of people are coming back to YouTube to live stream, and it's becoming profitable for them. I've talked to some people that do this for a living. And also, what's the other Kick, the platform called Kick, K-I-C-K, all capitals, all caps. Kick is a good platform for building a channel, is what I've been told by many people. Is today my lucky day? It's possible. Well, what you see is what you get. I'm direct. I've been accused of being crass. Sometimes I'm working on that. I appreciate people like I said, I've had some people give me some direction. I had a couple of different live streamers. One live streamer about 2 months ago told me to embrace my haters and just whatever. There's going to be people that hate for no reason. Another live streamer last night told me that to be careful about what I say on, I think I can't remember what they said. They said, be careful what you say or do, like on on, these live streaming channels. I don't know what to imagine what I text too, because you never know who's watching. The way I'm taking it is that I'm not going to assume anything, is that anybody could be watching me. Do you ever get the feeling that you're being watched? I do. And I don't know. I don't care if somebody wants to use a different name, if they want to use a different name and they want to secretly watch me, they can do that. There's no law against it. They can do that. That's fine. If they want to just reveal who they are and say, "Hi, I'm your worst enemy from wherever," and you think you're this and that and the other, and you have a YouTube channel and blah blah blah, and they want to say something, you can reveal yourself to me. I don't really care. I don't think anybody cares about whether or not I live stream, especially when it's not monetized or anything. I just came on here to meet some people and learn things. I'm actually learning things from people that are younger than me. I'm learning things. Different ways of looking at things. Different ways of looking at things from a psychological and a spiritual perspective. I need assistance in that area. Yes, I do. It is time to get something to drink. I have to. What should we make? Look at that hair getting red again. Got soda here. Got water here. I call it water, but what it really is an old Powerade Zero bottle. And what we're going to do is we're going to put water in here. Tap water. It's kind of cool because, in this unit that I'm leasing, I don't have to pay for water. That's free-ish. Well, to me it is. And I'm going to make, that's right, Walmart individual drink packets. Because I'm thirsty right now. And water is supposed to be good to me, according to my doctor. Do you think that water is good for you? Yeah, I'm going to be careful about what I say. For real. Not say my last name on here. Not give out my exact location. Not talk about anything too personal on YouTube. I know the people that are in real life, like my family. My family knows me at a deeper level. My friends that I've had since my 20s, and even friends I've had since I was a little kid, they know me like in here. They know. Like it shows. I don't have to tell you what I'm like. Once you get to know me, you know that there's a salesman part of me. Like I was a salesman most of my life, right? But I'm not doing that here. I get a chance just to be myself here. I love it. This was a very stressful week for me. Very stressful week. I like coming on YouTube and TikTok and talking to the very small handful of people that I do talk to. And I text back and forth. And I like to converse with them. I like to watch their channels. I like to let the live streamers teach me some things. I've had 4 or 5 different live streamers help me in my personal life. A lot. I know who they are. Sometimes I like to keep that private, the people that helped me. Probably about 8 different channels, 5 TikTok channels, 3 YouTube channels of live streamers that got to know me as well as you can get to know me live streaming for at least, some of them I've known for maybe 9 months, some longer, a lot longer, some longer, maybe 7 years. Well, there's a live streamer that's known me for about 7 years. She knows how I really am, you know, like in real, like I'm the same person here as real life, but when I'm not on here and you see me in real life and stuff, they haven't even seen me in real life and they know me. They can read me like a book. There's a few streamers that can do that I've allowed myself to become what's the word, to become friends with. And when you become friends with somebody, you open up to somebody, right? Let's see what people are talking about here. Zolapine. Yeah, is that the same thing as Ambien? I left Philadelphia a long time ago at 10th and Filbert Street on the Greyhound bus with my friend Donald because Philadelphia is a dump. It's sad, but in my lifetime, it's mostly been a dump. You know, a lot of men put on this tough exterior. It's not a facade. It's a tough exterior. Men are expected to be strong, and protect women and children and the weak and things like that. And I've done that. I'm good at it. But there's a few streamers a very small amount of streamers on YouTube and TikTok that have known me for a while and are very intelligent and very perceptive, and they are very their emotional intelligence is very high. And every once in a while you run into somebody that, well, they used to refer to them as old souls. And they know me. They know things about me that the rest of social media doesn't know. It's not because I'm not being fake or anything. I just haven't let that side out of me. I made myself vulnerable to people that I want friendships with. I have vulnerabilities, just like any other human does. And I have imperfections. And in order to develop a friendship, even if it's on TikTok or any social media, YouTube, Kick, or anything like that, you have to be confident about yourself enough and fearless enough about yourself that you have to allow yourself to become vulnerable to another individual. And I've only done that with a small handful of social media channel hosts. Yeah, I'm. They call me. The younger people call me. The people in their 20s, they call me based, and they call me, or the millennials and the Generation X, which is my generation, I guess. I'm on the cusp. They call me a real one. It's like I'm stuck in like 1989 or something. I'm just like the same dude that I've been since. I haven't really changed much. There's a part of me that's like the same dude that I was my first year of college. Okay. I'm that same guy. But I'm not. Like, you know, after I broke up with my high school sweetheart, right? I went to college, right? And I just said to myself, and you know, the girl was calling me up. She had a new boyfriend, and then she was calling me up like, "Oh, can I come over and see you?" I was like, "Okay." She dumped me for the Orkin man or whatever, some guy, pest control guy. I was like, I was a young guy. I was like, at the time, I was like 17 or something, or 18. I was like, I was devastated. And I said, okay, so I'm going to run around. I'm going to date all these different women, right? Which I did. And the manager of an apartment complex in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, a high-rise apartment complex, who was old enough. She was like middle-aged. I think I was like 18 years old or 19 years old, and she was middle-aged. And I just went ahead and dated her on and off for a while, and plus about 7 different other women. So, I mean, you know, when you're like 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, when you're a guy, it's like you're all over the place, you know. Round, round, get around. I get around. I used to. I don't anymore. I'm not that way. But there was a time I was like that, yes. I'm not original like that. You know, a lot of men are like that when they're young. I know this gentleman looks like a star. I totally see it. Really? Like a star? You mean like a movie star? A shooting star? Am I a clown? Am I here to amuse you? What kind of a clown am I? Am I I don't know, a rodeo clown, a juggling clown? Ray Riddle. Well, stay safe, stay well. Thank you, Ray Riddle, for coming in and being a supporter of this ridiculous channel. Okay, that doesn't mean very much. In order to develop a friendship with somebody, whether it is in real life or whether or not, which I consider social media to also be real life, because there's only like a 2-second delay, I heard, or 3-second delay in most cases. I could be wrong, it could be more of a delay. TikTok's better than YouTube with the delays, but it depends on your reception and everything. But in real life, like right here where I am, people around here, developing a friendship is the same thing as me developing a friendship with a person on social media. The way I look at it, in order for me to develop a friendship with a person on social media also, is that I have to open up to them at a deeper level and allow myself to become psychologically and spiritually, I guess maybe not spiritually, but emotionally, psychologically vulnerable. You know, in here, you have to. The reason I decide that I want that somebody's my friend is because deep in here, I trust them. I trust them with information. I trust them with my inner feelings. In many cases, I can't hide it. I'm incapable of hiding it, just to many people. And they know that there's a softer side of me. There's a sensitive side of me, and a real deep, emotional, loving side of me. I'm not, you know, just some big 6'1" guy walking down the sidewalk looking like, you better stay out of my way. No. I'm very, very imperfect. I'm not a perfect person. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. Has anybody made mistakes in their life? Anyone here? Yeah, the exterminator took my first my first girlfriend in high school and took her away from me. I was so upset that I decided to date some chick and her sister. Kindness. When I'm looking to develop a friendship with someone, I have to have, my internal compass has to trust them. I look for patterns, and I'm like, that person that's a person I'm going to give a shot. I look for humor. Well, first of all, people that are forthright, people that are direct. I love people that are direct and even hurt my feelings sometimes and tell me the truth, even though it might hurt my feelings. They tell me the truth because I need to hear it. That's what a real friend will do that. And I like that. And I tend to like direct people. My father was a direct person. I like that. I respect that. And they don't candy coat things. I like people that do not candy coat things. I like it when people tell me what I need to hear and not necessarily what I want to hear. Because I live only one time, and well, life is short, you know. You don't want somebody candy coating anything. You want somebody to tell you to be real super direct with me. You know, when I can tell somebody is kind, you can watch their behavior. You can watch even on social media. If you watch somebody long enough, you can watch the patterns. You can watch their behavior, and people that have good character, people that follow through with what they say they're going to do, people that say things to you to protect you, to give you advice, to give you good, solid, are people that I've met on social media that have criticized, but it was constructive criticism. And they give me direction. That's what a real friend does. And I love that. That's a big turn on to me. If somebody is intelligent and stuff like that, has a high IQ and stuff like that, that's just a plus. You know, I can be friends with somebody like that too. That's, you know, like, wow, that's like refreshing. Or somebody that has a really good mastery of the English language. You know, some people just speak well. Some people think before they speak. I've met people on here on YouTube, Kick, and TikTok, but primarily TikTok is better for getting to know people. I don't know why, but YouTube you can after a while. But on these social media platforms, and that includes Facebook too, it's very interesting, the people I've met. I've met some people that, another thing that I like, that's like a surface thing. It's not like the main reason I decide to go further and develop a friendship with somebody. Instead of just a parasocial relationship with someone, that's not even quite a friendship, but I'll leave you a real friendship is when people are direct, honest with me. They are even sometimes a little bit crass, or they give them constructive criticism, that type of thing. And I see that they are the same every single time they go live or they post. They don't change up on you. And they're always trying to say something that is constructive. They don't want to bring you down. They don't. I like that. Good humor, high intelligence, that's a plus. So there's, you know, the kind of things I was looking for in a friend when I was maybe a child or when I was 18 or 19 or 21 or 25 are not the same things I look for when I decide and make a decision to pursue friendship with someone, whether it's in real life or whether or not it's still in real life and it's on social media. It's the same thing. I've been this way since probably my late 30s. I look for certain characteristics in a person. I haven't had alcohol in 19 years. I don't judge people. I don't judge people for drinking. I don't judge people for smoking. I don't judge people for smoking weed. I really don't really I don't really mesh well with people that do like street drugs and things like that. They're unpredictable. I like that, but I don't judge anyone. I have no right to judge anybody. Who someone is in their core is the same, unless they're a phony person. They might behave differently, be upset one day or not upset the other day. I understand certain people. That's why I say it's a very small, unbelievably small circle of people that are on social media. It's less than 8. It's like 6 or 7 people. No, 7 people that I consider friends on social media. Possibly a couple more. I just don't have the time to talk to everybody all the time. People evolve, yes, they do, but who somebody is deep down inside doesn't change unless they want it to change. Like if somebody, I don't know, a person could change from being a really unselfish, very caring and loving person and just totally change one day and decide they're going to be a jerk and start taking everything from someone. That could happen. Usually as a person gets older, what I've noticed is that they become less selfish and they tend to become more unselfish and more loving. Now, love, like I said before in my previous streams, is a verb. Love, the word, is a verb. It's an action word. To love someone is to give of yourself, your time, in some cases money, but to give of yourself to another human being without expecting anything in return and not boasting or bragging about it. Because if you do, God doesn't even recognize it anyway as love. All we have is each other. I mean, humans need to. There's a lot of disconnect with humans in the last 10 years, I've noticed. And as I believe that the country is changing. Our nation, the United States of America, where I live, is changing. And people are starting to, the process of not being concerned about material things so much and commercializing so many things and developing real friendships and going back to probably things like guys hanging out at the VA if they've been veterans, or people going to church or synagogue and stuff like that, spending more time in houses of worship, and probably ladies going back to crochet clubs and stuff like that. People actually talking to each other, whether it's on social media or whether or not it's in real life. I think a lot of real life human connection is needed now, and a little bit less time on these phones. That's my opinion. Jerry, I don't miss alcohol at all. I kind of, you know what? I was a weed smoker, but the stuff they're growing now is just too powerful. I would never do that. Concur. Character's the number one. Number one, tell all. I know people on and off SRIs who are wildly different off them. I have bipolar disorder. And my doctor told me that she never wants me on any medication that is classified as an antidepressant. It could throw me off. And I've taken lithium carbonate, taken other medication. I take medication for bipolar. I'm not going to get into the medications I take. But take them, and they work. They manage it. Alcohol should be consumed for celebratory purposes. I believe that. I think it should. Yeah, we all have a lot of work to do. Just because a person stops drinking doesn't make him a nice guy. I've dealt with I know what a real the definition of a narcissist is. People that some of them sow discord amongst family members or at work, at the workplace, or things like that. These people, I eat them for lunch when I discover them. Yeah, just have Jerry 1 month sober. I would suggest that you have your sponsor and a backup person in the Alcoholics Anonymous program or 12-step recovery program, their telephone number and a list of telephone numbers, somebody that you can call before you have that first drink. Definitely, if you only have 1 month of sobriety, of clean time. That's a very, very critical time for you to have a phone number of someone in the program you can call that can talk you out of having a drink. Well, enough about talking about that. It's time to move it on along. Barbara Powell, 6886. Same here. I was a heavy smoker. I quit in 2021. I don't miss it. The same as drinking. I don't miss it either. I chose life instead of destroying my life. I chose life on August the 8th of 2007. I chose to be like Jiminy Cricket from those safety videos we watched in elementary school. I'm no fool, no siree. I want to live to be 103. Remember those videos? I want to live to be a centurion. We'll see if I get there. I will be back in 2 minutes. Don't touch that dial. Okay. Now, enough. What cream sits out your mom? Hi, remember me? Yeah, I'm the guy that's tall that can touch the top of this. What is this up here? Something's up here. Oh, touch the ceiling. I guess that's one of the things being 6'1" does for you. I wish I was taller. I wish I was about 6'3". 6'2" and construction boots. I know that. Like in Timberlands. I love Timberland boots. They're my favorite. Who's in here? Shout out to you too, Barbara Budin. I know how to survive. I was raised by a father. Well, they broke up, but my mother, when I was younger, and then my father, and then his father, and then my mother's mother, and my father's mother. So I had grandparents were integral in my late teens and early 20s. They were constant contact with me. Even if I lived in California, they were talking to me. So I learned from World War II generation, what do they call them? The greatest generation, the people that were like teenagers going into the World War II, and Korean War era people. These people from old school were people that raised me. So I learned a lot from my grandparents too. My grandparents, a lot of them were in the military. Both of my grandfathers were in the military. All of their brothers were in the military, and they saw combat and everything like that. My mother's father was a Marine in the South Pacific in the Second World War, and not too long before he passed away, I talked to him on the phone from California. He said, "Son, I want you to be quiet now. Stop talking. I have to tell you something." And all of a sudden, he sounded like a Marine. For the first time in my life, my grandfather, the Marine, came out of him, and he said, this is shortly before he passed away, my mother's father. He said, "You do what your father tells you to do. Do you hear me, boy?" He said that to me. I was a young guy. And I said, "Yes, sir." I was standing at attention, man, on that phone on the other end. I never heard my mom's dad talk like that. He had been in combat in World War II, in some of the worst combat ever that happened in the South Pacific. That guy was really tough. Guy was only 5'9". He was a short guy, kind of, maybe 5'8". Damn, he was tough. He was the manager for the grounds and maintenance at Walter Reed Hospital. Do you know what Walter Reed Hospital is outside of the DC area? You might know. I wonder what time it is. Oh, it's 7:49. Getting a little late, isn't it? I wonder what I'm going to do for the rest of the evening. It's not sure. You see, here's Friday, Saturday, Sunday night is a night when a lot of YouTube and TikTok gets busy, and not all, but some of my favorite live streamers come on, and I like to watch their channels, see what they're up to. They do a lot of different things. I tend to watch artists, but I watch other people too. Not too many. Not too many these days. When I started watching social media, I was scrolling like everybody else, but not anymore. Not so much anymore. I haven't watched television in so long. I don't even know if television. Does television still exist? Let's see. I think I have a television. Let's see. Yes, I do have a television here. We do have television service. However, we never watch television here. I don't know why. Well, look at that. That's an outlet. And this here is that is a plug. That is a lamp. We're going to turn this on. We're going to look at pictures. Oh, look. It's Snoopy. The snow globe. I show you guys this all the time. Here we go. Oh, please hit the subscribe button. Yeah, that's me. Who is that? That person looks familiar. That is me. Well, I sure don't like look different, don't I? I used to have really dark hair back then. My brother. And is that my mother? Let me see. Yes, that's her. That is my father as a young man. That is me as a child, probably about 2 years old back then. Looks like I'm a little spaced out. That's my mother. I don't think I really look like her so much. That's my mother. That's my grandmother, which was a young lady, probably in the 1950s. She looks real young there. That's the one I'm supposed to look like. And then we have my mother, my grandmother, and her younger sister, my aunt. I have more pictures. I could show you all kinds of pictures. Oh my God, my hair turned red. As I got older, my hair got red in it. Used to be dark, dark brown. Let's see what you guys. Yes, one child. And he is grown. He is grown and paying taxes. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara Boone. Really? You think I have my mother's eyes? Actually, I have my grandmother's eyes. I'm a photocopy. My face is like a photocopy of my grandmother when she was a younger woman. My grandmother's no longer with us. She passed away in 2001, unfortunately, because she had really bad diabetes and congestive heart failure. But a lot of people thought that I looked more like my grandmother's child than my mother's. My mother looks more like her father in the face. I have some pictures. I could show you some pictures. I'll show some pictures. I'll show you some. Huh? Maybe tomorrow. I have pictures of relatives from all the way back in the 1900s. I'd have to get them out ahead of time. That's what I like to do. And pictures of my great-grandfather who was an honor guard at the White House. He sit there in his United States Marines military dress uniform with his rifle with the bayonet in front of the front doors of the White House in Washington, D.C., with one guy on one side and one guy on the other side of the two doors of the front of the White House. Yes, I have pictures of him. I sort of look like him in a way. I tend to look like my mother's side. My mother's maiden name was Sheets. Sheets is sometimes spelled with a Z. It's a German name from Dusseldorf. Or the way they spelled it was with an S, like bed sheets. And they came here from Germany, and they settled in the westernmost, one of the westernmost counties in Nebraska, that's on the north, like the north side of the northeast part of Colorado. I got to find out what that county is. But the way the state kind of goes like this, and there's part of Colorado that's actually south of Nebraska, because Nebraska kind of has a lip that comes on the top. And they were, what were they? They were people that bred horses, amongst other things. And they had a large family. So there's a lot of people with the last name Sheets that live in, they live in Nebraska, all parts of Nebraska. They live in Colorado, and they also live in Utah. Also, some of the daughters married Mormon guys, and moved out to Grand Junction, Colorado, and Salt Lake City and stuff like that. Went further west out there. They lived in one of them lives in North Platte. It's called North Platte. Cousin of mine. Yeah, a lot of Sheets out there in 3 states, Nebraska, Colorado, and Utah. So that's my father's last name, and them and the Collins, and then the Gordys and the Sheets. Barbara Powell, you're a redhead. My hair is turning, and a Taurus. My brother is a Taurus. I'm a Cancerian. I'm a Cancer with Sagittarius rising. Kinda, yeah. I had a little bit of gray hair and a little bit of gray hair, and I wanted to get it out. So I just went ahead, and what I did is I got medium brown L'Oreal, and then it made it too dark. And then it made it dark like when I was a kid. I mean, I had almost like, not black hair, but I had really dark brown hair with little bit of red undertones in it. That's what my hair color was like, you know. I might do it again like that. I don't know. I might get a haircut. I might not. What is your, my ethnicity is German and English. There is some Scotch-Irish in me, yes. If you saw me in real life, I have freckles. I have freckles on my back, and so there's some Scotch-Irish in me, yes. My brother and I both used to have freckles on our noses and stuff, but as I got older, they went away. I don't know why. I just kind of, maybe it was out in that California sunshine, and it just kind of burned up. But I got really white skin. I don't have olive skin. I have typical Northern German or English or Scotch-Irish white skin. Wow, this is a different look. I look different. Wow, I do. I don't like this. It's a little bit creepy. What's this? Okay, I think this is better like this. Let's see what we got here. Oh, my cousin was a Catania Mama. My cousin was an honor guard of the White House under Bush Sr. Really? That's interesting. That's what my great-grandfather did. I wonder who the president was back then in the 1910s. It's a long time ago. He was also a spy when they were building the Panama Canal. He was a young guy because he could speak German and Spanish and English. Sheets, yes. Sheets, Sheetz, is originally how my mother's side of the family from western Nebraska. That was what their name was. They came from Germany. They came to central Pennsylvania, and then they migrated out to western Nebraska, far western Nebraska. And there's a Sheets family that owns a Sheets. They're probably distant relatives of mine. I've never met them, but they are. They own a convenience store and gas station in central Pennsylvania, Maryland, and maybe a few other states. Yeah, I live in North Carolina now. I live just north of Charlotte and going in the direction of Raleigh. Not for long. I will be moving. Oh, by the way, I just want to remind people, thank you for hitting the subscribe button. This is a non-monetized channel. I am trying to get my subscriptions up to 10,000. I have over 1,000 now, and I really need you to hit the subscribe button. It's free, it's fun, it's easy, and you beautiful people would really be helping me out a lot. I do appreciate it. The night is young, and so we are. So are we. Yes, we are. Oh, you're a Sagittarius. I'm a Cancer with aspects of, I'm a Sagittarius rising with aspects of Sagittarius in me. But my sun sign, my base sign is a Cancer. That's why I'm so moody and sensitive and empathetic, and I get my little feelings hurt and stuff like that. Oh, they're going to cost me $3,500 to get my teeth fixed, to get this grill fixed. I know how much they're going to cost. I'll get that done. Missouri, yeah. Definitely thinking it's either going to be Florida, Central Florida, or it's going to be Missouri. So I'm either going to relocate to the Orlando, Florida area, which is not on the beach. It's in the middle of Florida, where Disney World is, or I'm going to be relocating to the Kansas City metropolitan area. One or the other. That's the direction I'm going. Either one. And I have to do a lot of research and confer with other people before I make that decision. Oh, your cousin was an Air Force chaplain. That's a very necessary position in the military. Chaplains are, yeah. They're the spiritual people. Oh, you live in Concord. I know where you are. Yo, what happened at that Christmas? They had like a Christmas tree lighting, and there was a pew that happened there. Remember that? A lot of people were really upset about that in Concord at the Christmas tree lighting ceremony or something like that in Concord, which is a suburb of Charlotte. I heard that happen. Yeah, but it's right down the road from Sheets. Go there all the time. Yeah. I've never met that part. That's a distant part of my family. The Sheets that came here from Germany back in the late 1800s. I mean, after the Civil War, they went. That group that's my family went to central Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania Dutch country, and then the allergies were too bad there, so they went all. They had either the husband or the wife or the kids had allergies, and they moved out because of that. They moved out west and started a family out in. I got to find out where that county is. It's in western Nebraska somewhere on the northeast Colorado border. And they went out there because of allergies. Every single person in your family is gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. Surf's up. Yeah, it's. Thank you, Barbara Boudin. Thank you very much. I'm thinking about Arkansas too. I think it's more Missouri I'm looking at. Yeah, well, it's about that time. It's about that time that I'd say sayonara. And what do we have over here? Oh, cinnamon rolls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cinnamon rolls.
Yes, cinnamon. Yes. Definitely cinnamon rolls.
We went to the grocery store today, and I'm not going to fast food restaurants anymore. I'm just not going to do it. I don't know if they know how to make things properly. I'm not paying $18 or $15 or $8 for 2 meals at, excuse me, Jack in the Box or whatever. That's a place we have, Jack in the Box or Burger King or someplace like that. I'm not going to go there on a hamburger that's less than desirable. I'm going to, we went to the grocery store and we got hamburger buns and toasted them, put mayonnaise on them and lettuce and tomato and all that stuff. We made our own hamburgers and we had, sometimes we get cheeseburgers. And once a week we eat beef. And because I like fish and stuff and vegetables and stuff like that. But we're going to, what I got a really tasty cheeseburger today. I feel like I got my protein. It's wonderful. And I walked about 1.5 miles today. That's okay. You can give me an attaboy. Food poisoning for a discount. I don't want to go to fast food. This is not the 80s or something, or the 90s, when you go into like McDonald's or Burger King and or you go into Burger King and they make it your way and it tastes good. Or what's that place on the East Coast? They have Hardee's. They have Carl's Jr. on the West Coast. Same company. Jack in the Box. I don't know if Jack in the Box is it's all the way here from California. I know it's in Texas too. I don't know if it's up in Oklahoma and Points North. I'm not sure. G'day from Australia, mate. It's 10:07 a.m. Saturday morning here in Brisbane, Australia. How are you? I'm doing fine. So in Brisbane, even though it's summer up here in the Northern Hemisphere, is it still fairly warm there? Or is it kind of like in your winter months, Brisbane get kind of cool like Miami, Florida? I always wondered, isn't that called the Gold Coast where you are? My name is Randall. My nickname is Randy. My name is Randall. It's getting cold in Brisbane. What does it get like? What's your in Brisbane? I'm curious. Like the hottest place we have in the United States in the wintertime is Miami, Florida. It's way down there. South Florida. Their winter is like in the mornings, the lowest it gets ever there is like in the low 60s. I was wondering if Brisbane is more like Miami weather, and if you get or if you get down into not Celsius, we do Fahrenheit. I don't know if you do Fahrenheit there, but can you get down to 60 Fahrenheit, or can you get below 60 Fahrenheit in Brisbane in December, January? Just wondering. I always wondered that. What's up, Randy? It's your friend Corey from Pennsylvania, from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, that has state stores to get your hard liquor.
Yeah, that is.
Yes, I'm going to show off my chest. Is that okay? In Australia, it gets to 32, 33 degrees. Kids go home. And is that Celsius? Go home or go to school pool for fun and refreshing. I always wanted to go to Perth for some reason. I don't know why. I heard Perth has kind of like the same climate as San Diego. I heard Perth, a lot of Brits are moving to Perth, is what I heard. I watch live streamers in Kenya and Nairobi, Kenya. If I stay up late at night like I'm not supposed to, I watch them in Nairobi, Kenya. They got some great streams there, this guy in Nairobi, Kenya. And also in Lagos, or near Lagos, Nigeria. Yeah. I watched that. They got some really wild. The whole rest of the world looks like that. Most of the world doesn't look like Australia or United States or Canada or something like that. The whole rest of the world is like they got these motorcycles everywhere. Everyone's like riding motorcycles on these roads that are made out of bricks, and they got big old potholes in them and everything. And people, it's unbelievable. I look like a man angel. I've been told. Oh, you're laughing, aren't you? Somebody said I look like a man angel. Because somebody says that I'm not going to tell you how old I am. That people not knowing how old I am, and you could just keep on not knowing how old I am. You know, it's actually not. I'm a man, but I'm not going to tell you. But as far as just to let you guys know that are watching, any men watching, it's not appropriate to ask a woman what her age is, ever. And you definitely don't ask a woman what her age is when she gets to be middle-aged. You don't. Just don't do it. Nike says just do it. I say just don't do it. Just say no. Remember, what's her face? What was her name? Nancy Reagan. Long time ago when I was a kid, and people used to have rug problems. This country had a rug problem. And she said, well, just say no. I'm thinking as a kid, I'm like, I didn't even know what rugs were. I didn't even know what they were. I was a little kid. I was like, just say no. Could you imagine somebody like in full-blown addiction and they're watching Nancy Reagan when they're like in their 20s? They're running in and out of cheap motels. You know, Motel 6, the one that always leaves the light on for you. And they're running around, they're running and gunning, right? And they're doing whatever. Having a little party in the motel, right? And they're watching that. They turn on the television. The rabbit ears, those old ones, they have those junky cockroach motels that they have all across the country. The ones that were built in the 1930s and stuff. And here's Nancy Reagan saying, just say no to drugs. Just say no? Why didn't you tell me that a long time ago? Bitch. No. These were implants that the dentist before did not put in perfectly, and they end up falling out. I have to pay for these to go back in. This and this have to be paid for. It's going to be a lot of money. And it's a subject that I don't want to talk about. So where are my, do I have a moderator here? Do I need another moderator? Do I have a moderator? Is Jerry still in here? I don't know. I look famous, right? You think I look famous? Like who? Who do I look like? Do I look like Godzilla? Go Godzilla. I'll be your mod. Will you be a good mod? I need a mod. I need a mod. Add as a moderator. Standard moderator. Daniel Holman is now a moderator. Did you know Wait a minute, Holman. When I think of Holman, I think of Holman, the automobile dealership, which I believe is in New Jersey, in southern New Jersey. Are you aware of an automobile dealership, Holman something, either Holman Chevrolet or Holman Ford or something? Yes, sir. You're aware of, is that on Route 38 that separates West Cherry Hill? When you go past the Cherry Hill Mall and Maple Shade, and there's Barracks Trading Post, the what do you call this? Like pawn shops, and you keep going out there, and there's Holman. Before you get to the Morristown Mall, there's a Holman something, Mitsubishi, I don't know. I know there's a Holman automobile dealership. But there is one in southern New Jersey on the border between Burlington and Camden County, New Jersey. A Mr. and Mrs. Holman started that. And it's a huge dealership near the Morristown Mall. I used to live around there. I lived part of my life in my late teens and early 20s. I lived my very early 20s. I lived in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. So I know the area. I don't know if that's where you got your last name, Holman. Thank you very much. Yeah, the things that, Mr. Holman, the things that I do not want on my channel are anyone talking about anti-Semitism, anyone talking about racial bigotry, or anyone talking about nasty talk or hurting women and children. All of that is an instant block, and they never come back. It's because life's too short. I've been sober for almost 19 years. Thank you, Daniel Holman. This channel is not monetized right now. This is for fun. I'm just doing this for fun, man. Isn't it for fun? For fun and games. And when I get to somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000, somewhere around there, I'm going to monetize the channel. And Jesus willing, it will take off like a rocket ship. Usually I'm not on this long. I'm learning how to be on this long. 2 hours and 8 minutes and 29 seconds. My name is Randall, aka Hollywoodland22. Please subscribe. I have a goal now of 10,000 subscribers. You beautiful people can take me to it. You can take me to the promised land of 10,000 subscribers. You know, it's a funny channel. You should go on YouTube and watch it. Some of you, it might not be your cup of tea, but I like to pop in, and here's some of the YouTube channels I like. I like to watch Trishalicious on YouTube. Trishalicious. She's one of the IP2 network people. Maybe you don't like it. Ice Poseidon is another wonderful live streamer. He has a great voice, and he's very successful. He got successful when this live streaming first came out. He put in a lot of work, and it paid off. And also on YouTube is One Sonic. I don't know where he is. He might be in New York or somewhere else, but he's a really good live streamer. You check him out. Also, Elisa Giordano. You might want to check her out on YouTube. Palisades Park. Chris Isaac. Yes, I have heard of Chris Isaac. This is showbiz, isn't it? Yes, it is showbiz. it's not your everyday. Channel.
It's every other day.
We got Sandy the Squirrel over here. You fill in Sandy the Squirrel for SpongeBob over here. What'd you say?
I'll get you, Dirty Dan.
Say it louder.
I'll get you, Dirty Dan.
She filled in for, what'd you do, 4 months? Many people filled in.
Many people do.
There's a woman that did that part, and some other cartoon characters.
She's from Texas. She's from Texas.
She's from Texas, and you're from where? You're from Northeast Georgia.
I'm from Georgia.
Have you ever heard of Rayburn County?
Raven County.
Where they filmed that movie Deliverance with
Deliverance. I got delivered.
Okay, check it out. Deliverance. Remember the movie Deliverance with Burt Reynolds in it? She grew up next to that, in the county next to it, in Habersham County. You know this book right here, right? This book, if you read it backwards, is Deliverance by James Dickey. Deliverance. It's a good read. And I learned a lot about gratitude. Gratitude, yes, by reading Deliverance. I did. What I need is a lot of people to come to this stream. This is ridiculous. I've never had so little people in my stream. Okay, top messages, all messages, what's going on? We're gonna put it back on top messages. We're gonna see what's going on here. We need more people in here. I'm thinking about starting a little garden out on my balcony. What do you guys think?
Boy.
What plants should I start with? I want to go buy some soil, and you don't necessarily have to eat this stuff. It could be lilies or something. We have a balcony out here. Want to see the balcony? Want to see something? Okay. Let's look at the balcony out here.
That's the balcony.
Let's look at this. We're going to open this?
You can push it. I can push it.
This. See? That's the storage there. This is the balcony here. And I'm thinking about buying some pots to put out here. Go down to Walmart. There we go. You go down to Walmart, aka Wally World is what they call it in the South, and purchase some soil and plant something in there. You know how to do it all. You know how to raise beagles, right?
Yes.
Is there anything else you know how to do?
I know how to do
Miss Newman?
I know how to weed eat.
You know how to weed eat.
Grass.
You know how to change a tire in a car.
Yes. And how to change the oil.
Do you know how to
How to change the battery.
rebuild a transmission?
Yes.
I do not know how to do that. I am not an auto mechanic. I do know how to do basic car maintenance and upkeep, change oil and things like that. I do not know how to work on carburetors or transmissions, or I have friends of mine that have chains and hoists back in Los Angeles, these Mexican guys I know, and in their backyards they have several vehicles and they have chains and hoists, and they take engines out and they take them out of old vehicles and they rebuild the engines and then they put them back in. Southerners are kind of funny because they're kind of like Mexicans. They like working on cars and stuff a lot. If you go to Los Angeles and you go to anywhere in Los Angeles, you'll see a lot of Mexican Americans and some undocumented people working on cars and building cars out of nothing. They go to a junkyard, get a car, figure it out, and put the vehicle together, and it runs. It'll run on the I-10 freeway and the Harbor Freeway. Is my name Larry? No, my name is Randall.
Larry.
Randy for short.
Larry.
Mr. Randall, you can hire me to be y'all's personal chef. You would be surprised at how well I cook organic. I even surprised myself. Really? I may take you up on that offer. Geraniums are easy and beautiful. Thank you, Requez Baquiza Luis. That sounds Espanol. 4309. Amazon, it's sweet tea and natural. Yeah, I like that stuff. I am drinking, I don't drink alcohol. I'm drinking Walmart generic diet soda. The mint family is hearty, so get some stevia or TSC or Home Depot. Yeah, that'll be like aloe vera. That's a good idea.
Aloe vera. Well, I can grow them inside. They don't need to go outside.
I heard that Canada is really nice in the late spring and the summer and early fall. I heard it's really nice up there, not really cold or anything. That's on my to-do list. I like to do that one day. Yeah, do we get lots of sun on that balcony?
Too much.
Too much. Too much. Requez Solis. I hope I'm saying that right. Wow. A lot of people watching. Stevia is a sweet mint that grows great and is sweet like sweet tea, not artificial. And I guess maybe perhaps I could use some of that
In your tea.
in my tea.
Yes, like a little.
You really don't know where you're trying to go or what you're wanting to do you? No. Holly-X80. Why would you say that I really don't know where you're trying to go or what you're wanting to do? Do you? Laugh out loud. No, I'm very much narrowed down where I'm going to be relocating to. It will be either the Orlando, Florida metropolitan area or the Kansas City, Missouri / Kansas metropolitan area. Those are the two areas I'm looking into. There's a reason we bypassed St. Louis. St. Louis has a very high crime city in the city, and some of that can spill out into the suburbs, and I don't want to be, because I would have to go in and out of a city. Like, I would rather live in Kansas City or live outside of Kansas City and be able to get in there like that. If I'm going to live in Missouri, I want to live in a sizable city where they have really good medical doctors and everything like that. I mean, I don't have a lot of medical problems, but I do pray to Jesus that I get older, and maybe when I get older, I'm going to need good doctors and stuff. I want to live in the Midwest. But then again, there's another part of me that wants to go down to Orlando. I don't know. It depends on a lot of things. Depends on a lot of things that I can't get into right now. That I'm not going to get into right now. KCU for life. I'm really liking what I see. I don't know why she would say that. Hydroponics are awesome off balconies too. Upside down cherry tomatoes and peppers, etc. We're getting a lot of good.
Yeah, upside down. Yes, I know about that.
Good advice here.
Upside down.
Holly sounds the same, spelled different. Hallie. Holly? Hallie?
That must be.
No, I don't. I have not smoked weed for almost 19 years. Or drank. Why am I moving? Because Charlotte, North Carolina is not for me. It's not my cup of tea. No. I used to work hard and party hard, and I stopped all that when I was like 39, 40 years old. Yeah, I was 40. No, I was younger than that. God, I'm starting to forget stuff. I can't remember. Can't remember the age or remember the year. No. And that was a nasty comment. You're gone. I don't want to hear from you anymore. Goodbye. Kurt Russell's brother. No, I am not. I do not use drugs. No, rugs. I do not use any of that stuff. I don't judge anybody that smokes weed. I can definitely understand that the way this country is right now is the way some people are acting in this country. I can imagine somebody would want to kind of escape it all. You know, is occasional weed use not as dangerous as drinking alcohol? I don't think it is. Alcohol is dangerous. You start drinking alcohol every single week, like 2 or 3 times a week. Oh man, cigarettes are really bad. I'm not advocating for weed smoking. I'm just like saying that it's just not as dangerous as the other things. And I'm such a hot mess. I'm not going to sit here and judge anybody. I have no right. Only God judges people. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to put this on all messages. Okay. This has been a very interesting, well, that's a lot of cinnamon rolls there.
You want one?
Do I get one? I'm not going to eat on here. I never eat on stream. But, well, some, I might one day. I don't know.
I'll save it for later.
I could cut it in half and just eat some of it. I like this shirt. Did you pick this shirt up? Where? At a department store?
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. What is it, Dillard's or something?
Belts.
Belks? I wonder if they have Belks in your neighborhood. Is that a high-end store?
It's one of them.
Barbara Boudin, 7811. Oh my God, Mr. Randall has been the most consistent person I've seen on YouTube. He is completely clean and for real. I am the real deal. To a fault. And I like people that are direct. Thank you, Daniel Holman. Well, it's almost that time. It's 2 hours and 24 minutes. Am I going to come on later on tonight? It is a possibility. I might. Here's the thing. I need everybody to subscribe to Hollywoodland22. That's my channel name. You'll see my face all over the place, and just hit the subscribe button. Or you can go to @Hollywoodland21. I think there's a subscribe button around there somewhere. This is a non-monetized channel, and I need all the subscriptions I can get. My goal is 10,000 subscribers within the next, 3 months? Within the next 2 months. Let's give it 3. I'll just 3. In 3 months, I want 10,000 subscribers. I need any money. This is non-monetized. I give money out to a few people. Need something to drink here. But I may come back. I am on YouTube. I am Hollywoodland22. And I am, yes, I am on YouTube. Messing up my hair. I'm just being silly. I'm on YouTube Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 6 p.m. till whenever. And you will start to see me occasionally come on a second time on Friday and Saturday nights, probably not on Sunday. And also, occasionally, for short bursts of time, not long bursts because I'm busy during the week, but you may see me coming on for no apparent reason in the middle of the day, for maybe 30 minutes and something like that. You never know where I'm going to be. I could be at home. I could be preparing to leave to another state. I could be in the airport. Did you know an airplane is like a time machine? You can go from New York to Los Angeles in 4 hours and 45 minutes. You can go from Los Angeles to New York in 4 hours and 22 minutes, I think, because you're following the jet stream. You can go halfway across the country in about 2 hours of actual flight time. I would take the Charlotte airport and I could get on an airplane and take off, and I could be in, I don't know, I could be in Dallas like really quick. I'm not that far away. My brother told me that an airplane is like a time machine. I've been on a lot of airplanes. I want to go on a train. I want to try a train out. That's what I really want to do. And I have to be very careful with sensitive information. Thank you very much for coming on. I do appreciate it. I might come on later tonight. Not sure. But if you see me popping on later on tonight, you'll know it's me. If your memory's good. I love you guys and gals. You're beautiful. I met some beautiful people on TikTok and YouTube, both platforms, and also on Twitch and Kick. Thank you for Dakula, and thank you for my new Daniel Holman. Thank you for becoming my 4th moderator. I'm going to need them because this channel is eventually, Jesus willing, going to become a larger channel. I have some things planned. I'm not going to tell you my plans for this channel. Now I have to go and check in with some other wonderful live streamers and see how they're doing today. I love you guys. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow for sure at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for subscribing to Hollywoodland22. You folks are beautiful. Let's get me to 10,000 subscribers as fast as possible. Let's do it in 2 months. Tell all your friends. Analog. Just tell everybody on the street. Hollywoodland22. Subscribe. Thank you. I'll see you guys tomorrow.